Gatekeeper, seasons wait for your nod. Gatekeeper, you held your breath, made the summer go on and on. Well, they tried to stay in from the cold and the wind making
Feist is the working name of Leslie Feist, who is a Canadian singer-songwriter and guitarist. Her career has spanned from 1991 to now. She had a stint in the musical collective Broken Social Scene. She also performed with Noah's Ark Weld and Peaches. She released her first solo album in 1999 and has had 5 since. Hi, my name's Dan, and this was the second album by Feist, and it's my first time listening to it. And it felt like 2 mini albums stuck together. So what I normally do in my process is that I listen once and then read up on an album and then listen again. So I get a listen in, as it were, in isolation and a listen with some information. And on my first listen, I noticed that it kind of switched partway through. When I read up, I read that and found out that the first half is original material and the second half is more cover oriented. It's not quite entirely covers. Some of it is adaptations, but it's definitely got a root in other people's stuff. Excuse me. So the first half is a kind of folky, acousticy, kind of singer-songwriter-y, I would say, and is very stripped back in the production. There's not a lot going on behind the singing. There is stuff there. And the second half is fuller. It's still got a certain amount of simplicity to it. And it's got more of a feeling of vocal jazz of various styles, although not all of it is quite like that. It's actually got a reasonable variety of stuff going on. And in the second half, it's deceptively simple. So it sounds like quite simple arrangements and still sounds fairly empty. But actually, if you listen to how many things are going on in the background, there's actually quite a lot going on here. And that's a production style or technique that I've noticed as I've been going through these reviews. That has kind of come well, I'm going to say recent, but it's the last 20 years. 20 years isn't all that recent, but reminds me particularly of Bill Callahan, um, and you may not know him or his stuff, so that might not mean very much to you, but it's this kind of deceptively simple production. Most of the instruments are played by a guy going by the name of Gonzalez, who's a Canadian musician and his multi-instrumentalist. And there's quite a variety of stuff, different instruments here, including electronic synth and some obvious synthetic stuff and some real stuff. I would say that the production of the album is brave. They pull it off. Um, and so it's only her second album, and so she's not hugely established at this time. And the production is very open and it's very reliant on her voice. So it's the sort of way of approaching things where you just have to be really confident that her voice is going to carry it. They're absolutely right, because she has a great voice. Oh, such a good voice. It's beautiful. I find it hard to describe voices. I have a particular liking for a good female voice. And so Feist's voice on this album, I woade say in the softer bits, that she sounds breathy, a bit like I'm going to reference somebody else again, Sade. Not quite as breathy as Sade. And then in the stronger sections, reminds me of Norah Jones. But it's just a great voice to listen to. It's got an excellent kind of tone to it that just makes me want to listen to it. It's great. The other kind of vocal thing that I noticed was tight vibrato, particularly in the second half. when it feels like she's trying to be more of a traditional jazz vocal singer, and it has this tight and relatively deep vibrato that was used by a lot of jazz singers. So overall, I didn't pay huge attention to the words. My favourite song is "When I Was a Young Girl," which is actually it's an adaptation or something like that of a traditional thing, and it's a kind of folky tune. And most of that is voice and percussion only, except as you go through more instruments with notes come in as you go through. Um, but the sound of it is great. I just loved it to bits. So yeah, I'm going to stop there. But as always, at this point, I'd like to invite you to tell me what you think of this album. And so to do so, please just leave a comment. And that's it from me for now.
Baby, I can figure it out. Your kisses taste like honey.